Hi there, chat about. I haven't done one for a while, and I bought something to go on my motorbike, my GL 1800 Goldwing, which could be quite interesting. I've got traditional foot pegs on my bike, and I quite fancied some plates to, make your feet more comfortable. So I bought some. I've noticed on Amazon they're going for about £600, but I did spot a place on eBay, and I'll put the details on the video, that were selling them for £204. So I'm hoping the quality is still good. And they've arrived today. Here's the big box. It is quite heavy. So let's have a look and see what the quality is like before I go and fit them on the bike. Now, I did say that I would tell you, put on the link, who they came from. But there is a receipt in there, so I'll read that to you in a minute. They've used strong tape, or I'm getting very weak, which is probably both. Strong tape and me very weak. Anyway, the company that they come from is Motorcycle Parts Warehouse. And I'm sure if you do a search on Motorcycle Parts Warehouse on Google for Portslade in West Sussex, you'll find them. And I ordered them yesterday about midday. They've arrived today about 2 o'clock by DPD. So they don't use that lose every parcel company. And inside the box there is some polystyrene, plenty of polystyrene, bin that, and quite heavy, the foot plates themselves. This one, they are chrome, folding, got nice big thick rubber pads on them. They don't half weigh a bit, I tell you. So there's, I should mention that is going to be the brake side. Then we have, because the brake pedal, of course, the original one won't fit. So there is a brake pedal. And of course, on the other side, you lose there's some Allen bolts. On the other side, of course, no instructions, because I assume that you're going to be clever enough to figure it out yourself, and it shouldn't be too hard. On the other side, you lose the traditional gear change lever, so your foot goes under. And what you get instead is a heel and toe. So this will be where the gear lever originally was, but it hooks it into there. And so where normally you would put your foot under the gear lever and lift to change gear, you use your heel on this. So it's a heel and toe gear change. And again, this should fold. And I'm sure it does, but maybe this one doesn't, this side, I don't know. But it looks like it does. Oh yeah, it does fold. It's just new and stiff. But again, very heavy, seems to be pretty good quality. So the proof is in the pudding. Let's go and fit them and see if they're as good as the idea. Obviously, normally you kind of got one peg about this big, whereas you've got a nice big plate there for your foot. Whether it's big enough for my big feet, I don't know. But anyway, there they are, £204 from Motorcycle Parts Warehouse. So this is a conventional gear shifter, single gear shifter. As you can see, to go into first gear, you lift your foot and you press down on the gear shifter. To go into neutral, you hook your foot under the gear shifter and lift it up. Likewise, to go into second gear, third gear, fourth gear,
and if you have it, 5th gear. To go back down, you lift your foot and you press down on the gear shifter to go into 4th gear. Likewise for 3rd gear, 2nd gear, and back to neutral. With the heel and toe motorcycle gear shifter, your foot is comfortable on the foot plate in neutral. To go to 1st, you press down on the toe shifter, similar to the other type. To go to neutral, however, you lift your foot and you press down with your heel on the heel shifter to go to neutral, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th gears. To go back down, you lift your foot and press down on the toe shifter to go to 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and then back to neutral. What are the advantages then of a heel and toe shifter? Firstly, you gain a more comfortable position for your foot on the running boards. It's more natural to push down with heels or toes than to lift with your toes. It's also better for disabled people, pushing down rather than trying to lift. Also, you'll notice a lot of motorcyclists have damaged boots from lifting the gear shifter. You avoid that. And some riders suggest that heel and toe changes are a lot quicker.
So let's go and fit them and see what they're like. So this is the traditional peg that fits as standard on the Goldwing, and left hand side, so you've got your peg, folding, well kind of folding peg, and your gear change lever. So looking at the part, it looks like it's going to fit there, replacing that. So looking at it, it's going to be these two Allen key bolts here that are going to come out, and this is going to go in. So let's have a go undoing it and see how it goes. So you're going to need these screws here, actually hex, so Allen key type, 6mm. So what you're going to need is a 3/8 drive, or whichever drive you use, 1/2 inch if you use it, hex socket to get these out. So how tight these are going to be, I don't know. They've probably been there since the bike was made. So there we go. Okay, that one came out okay, or snapped okay, snapped open okay, and so did that one. So don't forget, lefty loosey, righty tighty. So there's one screw out. My good lady's the cameraman for this, or the camera lady. So if it's all over the place, you can blame her. I'm sure it won't be. So the new screws that come with it, I mean you could probably utilise the old ones, but there's the new ones. And so what you have is you have the screw, hex screw with a spring washer and a standard washer. So put the standard washer on. Now this piece here loops underneath the original gear lever, and this will then bolt on somewhere. It's awkward to get this in. Hang on a second. Right, okay. So that will loop under the original gear lever. This will go into there. Very awkward to hold this on and tighten it up. So just to get it started, I'm going to do it by hand, making sure I don't cross thread it, of course. As soon as it bites, I can get the other one in. So again, hex screw, spring washer, ordinary washer, and that goes into this one. I must say there isn't an awful lot of clearance between this screw here and this lever, but it appears to be there's clearance enough. So as long as there's enough, that's fine. Now obviously I will torque these up in a minute, probably up to about £36 per foot or something like that, or £30 per foot.
Ah, fuck off.
So just check free and clear movement, which there is. It's very, very close here where these screws are, but it is fine. Let's give it a little more of a tweak. I say I will come back and torque these up, but it's free and clear movement there. You can hear the gear changing. The foot plate folds up. There you go. So that is the left hand side, driver's side done. So now to have a look at the other side for the brake. So same on this side. Just crack these open. A lot easier to get out than I thought actually. I thought that these would be, you know, absolutely seized up, but they're not. So it's not too bad. Very easy to get off. Now the only difference on this side is that the brake lever needs undoing here. So let's get a socket for that. 12mm. So these just pinch onto a spline. So it's a simple matter of undo it, and then it should come free from the spline. It isn't at the moment, so you may have to encourage it with a screwdriver, gently getting in underneath it. And if that doesn't work, then of course the next call is to a bit of WD-40. Sometimes you need to bend them open here a little bit where they clamp, and then they will lift out and pull out, but this one's not. So bear with me, I'm going to WD-40 it and get it off, and then I'll come back. So these are exactly the same as the other side. So hex, bolt, spring washer, ordinary washer, offer it up to the bike in the right kind of place. These fit obviously, these fit a lot easier because you haven't got the gear lever to worry about. So hex, bolt, spring washer, ordinary washer. The gear lever came off very easily eventually with a bit of WD-40 on it. But up until then it was being a bit of a pain, but it did come off eventually, as you can see. So these are the same. Do them up. You never do one up fully and leaving the other one not done up at all, because sometimes it won't go in square and you end up cross threading that way. So one's nice and tight. That one's nice and tight. Again, these do fold. So the gear lever, the brake lever, sorry, comes in underneath here. Now to get it on, you're going to have to undo this this screw here, because at the moment it's completely shut. I've got to say, inside there is a little bit of swarf which we'll need to clean out as well. So I need to undo this. Take that bolt out, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but inside there is a little bit of a swarf, which is basically bits of metal from where they've milled it that are just kind of hanging around. So it's gone now. It's very easy to get rid of. So offer this up to the location where you think it's going to be comfortable. Now, obviously you need full movement of the brake, so well, once it's on, it's on. So work out roughly where you need your brake lever to be, but not forgetting you need room for it to move down. If it moves down below the plate, then it's going to be no good, is it? So I'm thinking somewhere like that should be okay. Let's just try it one little bit lower and see if that's going to be any good. No, see, one spline lower puts it there, and by the time you brake it's going to be too low, so there's going to be where it is, so you're going to need to lift your foot up onto that. See, now that isn't going to fit in there now because of this, so I'm going to have to take this off, do that up, put that back. I'll come back to you in a minute. Alright, so now I've got it on now. It was just a bit difficult because the spline kept pushing in, which meant I had to spread this a bit further apart. You can't put this on while the footrest is on, so you need to put the brake lever on before the footrest. Otherwise it's in the way. So do these up nice and tight. Now the important thing to remember is when you set in the height of the brake pedal, it's no good having it so low that when you're braking the pedal disappears below the foot plate, otherwise you can't use the full extent of your brakes. So it needs to be that when you're braking it isn't going down below the foot plate. Okay, and that's it, they're fitted. Just need torquing up, and then I'll tell you what I think of them once I've ridden the bike again, which will be tomorrow to Manchester. Thanks for watching. So I've did my ride to Manchester and back. It was a piddling down rain, but I must admit these were very comfortable to use. Soon got used to toe and heel rather than, you know, up and hooking your foot under here. There are some issues I found. One is that when your side stand is up, you can't, the piece you hook your foot under or onto to push it down is under here. So you have to lift the foot plate up to put the side stand down. And that's all very well, but the first or second time I did it, when I was putting my foot back on, I caught this piece of rubber and it lifts off. It's not stuck in, well, none of them are very well. So that isn't very good. They all need gluing in. The brake side of it worked fine. What concerns me more is this. Wobbly. So I'm going to have to pull it off and find out what secures it in here. There must be a nut or something that's come loose or something, but you shouldn't expect that to happen. So anyway, but the long and short of it is it worked well. It was very comfortable to use. I've got to say though that these come down at the front. They're not, when these are down, they're 100% flat with the bike, whereas these, I don't know if maybe I'd get the angle on it or not. I don't know, probably not, I don't know. but they seem to hang down to the outside a little bit rather than to be flat. They'd be there, but they're not. They're kind of there. So whether there's a way of adjusting them or not, I don't know. I am happy with them overall for the price, but they do have issues, particularly this. I mean, it hasn't stopped it changing gear or anything, but I'm just a bit worried that I'm going to be going along eventually and it's going to fall off. So I need to check that out, and I'll let you know what the result of taking it off and looking at it was, or is, even. So it transpires that this is held on by a screw that goes through there, and it's rather loose, as you can see. So what it needs is a bit of thread lock on it. So I'm going to take it off, thread lock it, and put it back on. It also transpires, looking at them now, although there came no instructions, don't forget, that there are a couple of Allen screws here that go through and don't, I'll show you that one, don't actually hold anything. So what they're obviously there for is to adjust the gap so that when that lifts, that adjusts how far these come down. But there's no resistance to it whatsoever. I think that one's probably just fallen out and gone missing. So I need to find another one to fit in there and adjust these so that the plates do fit flat rather than at an outward angle, and then I'm going to have to thread lock them in place once I've found another one to fit in there. So there you go. And obviously the rubber bits need gluing in, so for the money they're not bad, but it could be better. There you go. But overall I do recommend them. There you go.
That's it, folks. I will see you again. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and all the other malarkey things that you've got to do, please. It does mean a lot to me to receive some comments as well.